Hey everybody, welcome to the second episode of the Twisted MTG podcast. I'm Combo Kitty, and this is Civic Queen.
Hi everybody.
And we're going to talk today about our tournament experience and how we did at the Survival Tournament up in Buffalo. That was held by the Bufftown Bullies, right? Correct?
Yes.
At Manabar. North Towanda, specifically.
Yeah.
If you want to start off.
So I played Hackball the Surging Souls. I played a little Simic control with stacks.
Yeah. Specifically, I think your stacks were what? Your main stacks were Dampening Sphere?
It was Dampening Sphere, Curse Totem, Graph Digger's Cage, Narset, Oko, Manglehorn, pretty much.
And Dampening Sphere was mainly for stopping like Gaia's Cradle and...
breach lines. Somewhat
hinders Doorful.
It made a person scoop.
I mean, it's always a win when you get a scoop.
He's just like, I feel really targeted because I had a Curse Totem, a Curse Totem, Dampening Sphere, and a Graph Digger's Cage out, and he had 2 life left, so he's like, I feel really targeted. I'm going to pay my last 2 life to Necropotence and die.
Curse Totem. Did it work out for you?
Yeah, I mean, playing against meta decks with Hackball it's a little complicated. Sometimes it does really well when it wants to, and then it's, my first game, I had a player with a Lion's Eye Diamond on the field and a Brain Freeze in the graveyard. I attempted to cast a Ristic Study for answers, and the mono red player says Pyroblast. I said, he's got a combo piece on the field, he's got a combo piece in the graveyard. You're mono red, you don't have any answers. Player 4 doesn't have any answers. I think we need the Ristic Study. He said, I can't let you have too much advantage.
Not knowing your deck.
Yeah. I proceeded to pass turn. That player with the Lion's Eye Diamond and the Brain Freeze in the graveyard said Demonic Tutor, and absolutely nobody had any answers, and we kind of lost the game there.
I think we did in episode 1, we touched on it a little bit, about crazy things, having to let things resolve, like Necropotence and Ristic Studies, and that was like an extreme case of, if you don't have answers and somebody's trying to resolve a Ristic Study, and the rest of the table doesn't have answers for something that's about to happen, like a combo like Breach, it is in your best interest to let that Ristic Study resolve. I think that's a very casual way of looking at it is like, I can't let a Ristic Study resolve because it draws too many cards. Mm-hmm. I think the CDH mindset is like, should be, I don't have any answers, player B doesn't have any answers, player C is trying to resolve this Ristic Study to have answers to player D. I have to let this resolve and then back him up with this Pyroblast or Red Blast. Which one was it again?
Pyroblast.
So his job would be to back you up with his own blast, especially not knowing your deck.
Yeah.
If it was a Kinnan, I could understand the concern a little bit, but I digress.
Yeah, anyway. I went into every game explaining to everybody, like, this is, control. Like, it's not a combo deck. It has a combo in it. It's a backup plan. However, the next 2 games I played were both draws. Did
the Graph Digger's Cage come up in any of them?
Oh, yeah, Graph Digger's Cage and Dampening Sphere came up in 2 of the 4 matches. By the way, we thought it was five rounds. We went there, and it ended up being 4 rounds. So, with 2 draws and 1 win, couldn't really get into the top.
Yeah.
But altogether, I had fun. I can't say the other players had a lot of fun. I don't usually politic, but with Hackball, I had to politic a lot in those games because I had a Vivian, my one match, and a
VV the one that...
Yeah, VV the Ornithopter. I had a Grixis player. I think the most funnest game I had, which I won actually, was Hackball versus TNT versus Rogside versus Blue Farm.
Oh, you won that?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great. So that I politicked really hard in there for the Graph Diggers, the Cursed Totem, and the Dampening Sphere,
Yeah.
which
Shuts off all their breach lines.
yeah.
Shuts off the
so
green suitors.
that's the one the guy scooped in. The Blue Farm player scooped in pretty much. He was like, I'm just paying my last 2 life to Necropotence and die because I feel targeted. And I was just like, I had to do what I had to do. Like, I'm coming from behind. You guys are all a lot faster than me. And
touch on like Graph Digger's cage a little bit is like green tutors are really good right now, and I think I don't know about breach lines being as good as they were because like red is not as good as it was when Dockside was in the meta. But I mean, breach is still a good combo.
Oh yeah, the Dampening Sphere shutting down Gaia's Cradle in the Rog Thrasis deck was really good.
Yeah.
If not, we
more Dampening Spheres.
Yeah, I mean, we pretty much would have lost if Dampening Sphere wasn't out, and I had to like politic with each of the players to be like, we got to keep this stacks piece here, or else we lose, or we keep this one here, or we lose. And it was like if any one of those stacks pieces was removed,
we just lose.
All of us lose to one of the decks.
So, I mean, that's somehow stacks works. It's just like you need, like your opponents need to like come to terms that they need it to survive and try to figure out how to cobble a win together from that side. Because at the end of the day, you have to break parity on your own stacks pieces.
Mm-hmm.
You have to not just be stymied by them as well. So
a good thing was like Hackball runs a lot of interaction, so when the Chain of Vapor got put down to try to remove my Graph Digger's cage,
you had the interaction for it.
I had the interaction in hand, but like once again, I politicked for everybody else to use their interaction to keep it there, and I just started swinging and beating face, and then I won by combat damage.
Now you did lose to a Rog Thras, correct?
Yes.
You did lose to one, and that was the breach one, correct?
Yes.
Because nobody.
That was the first game.
Yeah, Rog Thras good deck. I have a bad.
I had a Cursed Totem down too. I had a Cursed Totem on that, and it got into the Flood mod. So.
Cursed Totem I feel like is and isn't great against like Rogside. Not Rogside, but Rog Thras. Like obviously you're shutting down their Thrasios.
It's touched on the Thrasios and their Arboro.
But it's like not their main win conditions. Like I think some of them are on like a Song of Creation and like Breach Lines. I think it hurts some and it doesn't affect the others. Like I think Kinnan doesn't like Cursed Totem, but at the end of the day, it's the top ability that will get you doubling the mana and then being able to just cast anything that you draw.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, when I first started playing Kitten and everybody started putting Cursed Totem in the deck, I was like, I don't care. I'm just ramping here and I'll just cast my stuff.
Yeah.
Until I find a Manglehorn or Force of Vigor to get rid of it. Like Kinnan can play through stacks.
At the end of the day, Cursed Totem is not an answer for Kinnan. No. It's not. But there was another stacks piece you said. You had Graph Digger's Cage, Cursed Totem, Dampening Sphere.
And I got the Oko too. I got Oko out, and they couldn't, like, they had no way to get through my Merfolk. So I'm just like sitting there like,
elking everybody.
You get an elk. You get an elk. You get an elk.
And it sucks when you get elked. Your commander gets elked and you can't do anything with it.
Oh, you're gonna swing it at me? Okay, well you can swing your 3/3 at me. I'm okay with it. It stays a 3/3.
I guess the other question that people might have is like, how did you feel about Hackball at the end of the day? Like, how we know you had fun. You said you had fun, but how overall do you think it performed compared to how you usually perform with Kinnan?
Kinnan outshines a lot of decks, and I mean, like the next day we went out to get good games. I played my Kinnan deck and I played Hackball. I played Hackball once and I lost with Hackball. Yeah. I played Kinnan and I won with Kinnan like almost every single game.
And it is the deck that you have the most time on.
Yeah.
But
if you're not spinning, you're not winning.
Yeah.
And that's how I feel. But like I also tried out TNT for the first time.
And you won with that as well.
Yeah, and I think it was like turn 3 or turn 4 I won. Via
Definitely piloted it like you stole it.
oh yeah, and I shout out to Dave the Hobbyist because that's whose deck I was running. He didn't win any with it, but I got a win with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't really know the deck, but I knew I had Hazel Brewmaster in the beginning, a Bullmaster in opening hand, and a MCO. So I went turn 1 MCO, got Devoted Druid, and I was like, okay, well, I can just... I also had an Enlightened Tutor in my hand. Eventually, I got to the point where I didn't even need Brewmaster. I played Devoted Druid. I negged 1 it to bring it back with the thing on it. And then I played an Enlightened Tutor with Mr. Gamora out. And
got Swift reconfiguration.
So, yeah, I was going to ping it and then cast the Brewmaster. But, like, I didn't know about the Swift reconfiguration until I Enlightened Tutored to just see what I can find in the deck because I didn't know it that well. And I seen that it was a white spell for 1 mana. And then I did it. Nobody had any answers, and I was like, okay, I think this is infinite mana here. Draw my deck.
And you were playing against, I assume Rock Thrash?
I was playing against my Kinnan deck.
Okay. Oh, by Dave.
Yeah, Dave the Hobbyist piloted my Kinnan deck. I piloted his TNT. Dalton was on the Derevi, and I don't remember the other guy, but he was on Rock Thrash.
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah,
he's a good Rock Thrash.
Yeah, I've been a few tournaments with him. I actually played in the top 16 against him at Gold Sabertooth's Mid-Range Heaven.
And Dalton's a very competent Derevi player. Shout out to Dalton. He's been to a bit of tournaments. He's kind of, for the most part, I guess I would say he's taking a break from tournament, figuring out stuff. Yeah, Derevi is, like, his Derevi is pretty good.
The thing with Kinnan is, like, I mean, I don't play net decked Kinnan. I don't play Wounded Satellites version or Freedom Waffles version.
Yeah, you primarily play, like, a very, very, very fast cannon.
Yeah, I mean, I go fast. We did try a Big Flips more controlling version that Comedian shot out.
Yep, 6 set and Norwich.
Yeah. Things like Kozlik, Thorn Mammoth, Apex Altasaur, Kogla, and Meringue River Regent. There's big flips.
Should we tell them about the Kinnan project?
Oh, you talk about the 4 Kinnan players in the pod?
No. The new Kinnan deck that we're brewing on.
Oh, yeah, we're thinking about a Kinnan polymorph deck list.
Yeah.
Just to try it out. 2 creatures. And, I mean, everybody probably knows what the creatures are. Hullbreaker and Tidespout Tyrant. Make infinite mana and win.
Have some game plan. We haven't, like, completely figured that out, but
yeah, just something janky that we could just mess with people with. Other than that, like, I mean, Hackwell, he did his thing. He did the best he could. When he beat 3 of the top decks in the CDH format in 1 pod.
Yeah.
So I mean, but like I said, some games, like, he just didn't perform as well. Like, but
there's also some bad decisions.
Yeah, like the Pyroblast and the Ristic Study, when pretty much all that next player needed was a tutor, and he had it. And I literally showed him, like, my hand. I have no interaction. I don't have one in my hand. Like, he's like, I can't let you get more advantage than us. Okay. I was like, okay, I have no interaction. I'm gonna pass to him, and I'm pretty sure we lose here.
Yeah.
And I mean, usually when I see stuff like that, I mean, I call it out. Like, when I was in Tennessee and the player lied and was like, oh, I'm not going for win here. I was like, he's literally got Thassa's Oracle and Demonic Consultation mana right here. What makes you think he's not going to go for win here? and he was literally just tutoring up a counter spell and talked the other players into letting them do it.
Talking about lying when we get to note that when we get to my side of the survival tournament, I've been called a habitual liar.
I mean, I get called a what do I get called?
Number one bullshitter.
Yeah, number one bullshitter. I guess I talk a good game.
If you had to rate your experience at survival out of 10,
I would give it a 7, mainly because like if I'm traveling like hours away to a tournament that says it's 5 rounds,
you don't want the tournament.
Yeah, I don't
change.
Yeah, because like the outcome could be a lot different. Like I could have won like a second match with that 5 there.
And put yourself on a bubble.
Yeah, I know. I mean, because I would have had 1 win, 2 draws, I would have been in the top.
If you won the next one.
Yeah.
So you would have been at 12 points and...
Yeah, other than that, I mean, like...
Yeah, I think advertising...
I honestly, like, I hate when people scoop at instant speed, like... It's been happening to me lately, causing, like, wins... Like, not a win for me, but, like, when we tutor something up to force a draw because we can't win, and then if we stop you, the next player wins... And then you just, like, instant speed scoop because you gotta go to the mall because you're, like, 19 years old and want to go visit your girlfriend.
You're still on that Tennessee.
Yeah, and, like, he didn't get kicked from the tournament. He got to come back the next day and play. Like, it's harsh. But then, like, and then, like,
reminds me
getting into a tournament and then, like, oh, well, get to... almost time around, you got 20 seconds to tell time around, and then you want to take all these play actions, and then you just say, okay, I'm scooping at that 0 mark.
Yeah.
When all I had to do was cast my commander on my turn.
And you won.
And I won. Yeah. So, like, I got... And then, I mean, the Necropotence guy, like, I mean, I'm not targeting you out.
I mean, you won that game.
Yeah, I won that game, but, like, I'm not targeting you out. Like, I'm literally just over here saying, like, I'm not going to just let you combo off and make me lose. Like, I wasn't swinging at you. Like, they weren't going to swing at you. Like, I was the problem.
Yeah. I think finding that balance of like, when you are out of a game and should probably, like, for your own, like, let's put this.
Fight for the draw.
Well, so there's a certain point I think that scooping is acceptable when you're completely out of a game. So we had that the game at Collect Binghamton here where you primarily shut me out of the game. I had 1 land, it was an exotic, and I had 3 red cards in hand, and there's no red to be able to be made. At that point, if we're in a tournament, I think if there's like 30 minutes on the clock or something like that, I think it's that at that point it's acceptable because you're not in the game, right? And
and I understand that.
Strategically, you should get up and then go like rest or collect yourself. I think conceding that match and then going to get some rest is what you should do, and I understand. But conceding out of spite or just overall maliciousness, I think is incorrect. I mean, people have their reasons.
I mean, I scoop in a casual game. I probably will never scoop in a tournament. I will sit there and I will try to, if I'm not going to win, I'm going to try to force a draw. Because a point is better than no points. But other than that, I mean, like, I've been to quite a few tournaments now, playing against some pretty well-known people, and I mean, at first when they said 4 rounds at Bufftown, I was like, man, I really don't.
You were very upset.
Yeah, I was upset. I was like, I really don't even want to play now. Like, and then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna make it hard for everybody else, and that's exactly what I did. I knew I probably wasn't gonna top because
I think it's important.
Less rounds, and then like when we got paired against each other, but they repaired, I was like, yeah, I mean, I might as well just fight for a draw right here because there's no sense of like knocking you out of it. It's harsh because like you have small amount of people, less rounds, and chances of you playing like the people that you came with is more likely.
Yeah.
And those are the people you want to play in the finals.
Yeah. I agree with you on a certain level. Yeah, so you rated a 7. Let's talk about mine.
I'm gonna let you talk about yours.
Yeah. So, my first game, I was on Sisse. Sisse, I would say it's very close to Clam Chowder. I was in a pod with Yuriko, Kefka, and Thrasios Yoshimaru. Thrasios Yoshimaru was in seat 1. I was in seat 2. Kefka was in seat 3. And then the Yuriko player was in seat 4.
I also just want to point out real quick, I don't think Kefka's that good. I really don't. I played against quite a few Kefka decks, and I mean, cool, you make us discard, you draw a card for each. We're all going to talk about the card we'll discard until you get less cards.
Yeah.
Or we're just not going to let it hit.
He never played Kefka in our game.
It could be also that it's a new deck and people are like still practicing with it, but everybody I've played against that's played Kefka, like on Spell Table and tournaments and casual play, like I'm just like it doesn't keep up with some decks. Like,
it definitely, the way he was playing it definitely did not impress me. Though Yoshimaru and Thrasios being in seat 1 was very scary anyways. So I think he kept a handful of control, which I don't necessarily think he should have done from seat 3. Like we talked in our first episode, seat 3 and 4 is rough. Those seats are rough. I don't think you should be policing the board. But so in our game, I was able to resolve a Smothering Tithe, and Yoshi Thras had like Gaia's Cradle and everything, and Kefka just kind of just sat there on like lands for the most part, and the Yuriko player for some bit of time was just playing lands and like mana rocks. He tried to resolve a Ristic Study, and I was okay with it at that point because I have a Smothering Tithe and I have Sisse. And Yoshi Thras was kind of getting out of control, and I didn't have anything at hand to deal with that. The Kefka player played a Pyroblast, and before it resolved, I tried to convince him to let the Ristic Study stay.
Well, why wouldn't the Smothering Tithe player?
So it was a double-edged sword. So I went for the Smothering Tithe plus the answers because I don't have any answers, and the Thrash Yosh player was so far ahead on his board state on where he was going to be that I was afraid of it, and reasonably so, because preceding that Pyroblast, that Pyroblast on the Ristic Study, the Yoshi Thras player resolved a Finale of Devastation to go get Direct.
Well, I noticed, like, because I came over and watched the game after my game ended on turn 3.
Yeah.
So I came over and just watched the game from after my turn 3 after I picked up.
Mm.
And, I mean, it seemed like when I went over there, the Yoshi Thras player was just, like, trying to make everybody else look like the problem but himself.
Yes, he had a Derevi combo piece. He had Derevi basically combo on board. Just needed another tutor for Emil, and I think you had said that you saw Oboro in his hand.
Yeah, Oboro was in his hand.
So
I didn't say it during the match, but like after the game was over and he went about his way kind of complaining. I was like, well, I mean, he had Oboro on hand. He had Gaia's Cradle on hand, on the field. He had enough creatures on the field. Like, all he needed was a Talon Gates. I'm not sure if he already had it or a way to tutor. I wasn't paying attention to that.
I'd like to talk about, you don't even need a Talon Gates, really. Like, you just need a land.
Yeah, you're gonna
balance.
get so much. You're gonna get so much.
Like, advantage with Thrasios. If you get a land off Thrasios, you can just keep going. If you have multiple activations of Thrasios, I think that, like, it's legitimate to just go spin, bounce the land back to your hand, especially if you haven't played a land for turn, and then spin Thrasios, and then if you hit a land, get that. They're spinning again to look at it.
I mean, that's the goal. That's the goal right there. Is you say, okay, well, I'm gonna reveal from Thrasios. It's not a land. I'm gonna put it on the bottom and hope you hit the land. That's what you're not looking for card advantage. You're looking to hit the lands until you get that town gate.
Even if you're going like you're making 5, you're spinning 4, you get a land, and then you can untap. Like, I think that there is something, or making 6. Sorry, making 6. Leaving 1 green floating, being able to activate a burrow with a cost reductor. Main point though, there was eventually a Psych Rift, Overload Psych Rift from the Yuriko player, which just kind of reset the board. And then from there, I didn't play out Smothering Tithe for the rest of that game.
Yeah.
The Yoshi Thras player was very convinced that I was going to do it. But before the Psych Rift resolved, I fetched up a Mox Opal, and then was able to basically power out most of my hand, minus the Smothering Tithe, which I think came as a shock to the table. Is like, why is he not playing Smothering Tithe? But if you understand your position of mana, then you understand what you need to do. And I understood that if I just put the Smothering Tithe, I would only have the Smothering Tithe. And the most important part of that deck is Sisay.
It's funny though, because he overloaded the Psych Rift, and then like I'm sitting there thinking like, almost everybody here can replay out their hand.
Yeah.
It's like, you did it on your turn.
And the Kefka player didn't have anything. No. I don't think they had any permanents at any point besides their lands. So we get back a little bit back to the lie thing. So there's a point where I have a Faber Elder and I cast my Saheeli and I go to target it, and they're debating about the deflecting spot. I was like, show me the deflecting spot, and I will try to get something to stop the Yuriko player from killing us, because currently me and the Kefka player are 11 and 18 respectively.
But Yuriko had a Graph Diggers out.
A Graph Diggers out, and they had a Roaming Throne with Yuriko and an Ornithopter.
Yeah. So you all were dead on his turn if it got back to him either way, whether it was damage or as he said, he had Thassa's in hand.
He had Demonic and Tainted Pact in hand, and was able to cast both and play the Thoracle at that point. So the main point here is that I convinced the Kefka player not to deflect and swat the target to copy. I copied. And I start looking through my deck, and the Thras Yoshi player is like, why don't you get Deadpool? Why don't you get, why am I
Teferi?
Not Teferi. Well, that ended up Teferi, but he was also talking about the blue-black legendary, I'm forgetting.
Lavinia?
No, blue-black.
Oh. Either way, like, he was just naming things like he knew what was in your deck. He said Oko.
Yeah, he thought Oko was in my deck. Which, if Oko was in my deck, I would have gotten Oko, and Oko the Elk, the Roaming Throne. I wouldn't have elked the Yuriko, which sounds weird.
I would have elked the Yuriko.
I wouldn't have, to keep pressure on the board. From people to, like, from doing certain things. That could have been a mistake, regardless. So
let's get to this live.
So I go and get Tyvar, and that's when people start to flip out. Because they're like, well, you're just going for win now. I was like, not if I don't have to, but at this point, I'm still planning on getting Teferi. And the problem that I had with Teferi, and this is where it comes into, am I lying or am I not, is I came to the realization that if I get Teferi, that me and the Yoshi Thras player and the Yuriko player are locked out of the Kefka's turn. We're locked out of the Yuriko's player turn. We're locked out of... So if it reaches back around to Yoshi Thras, we can't do anything.
and he has a whole board. He has Gaia's Cradle, all this, that, and the third, right?
So you got the Teferi anyways.
Yeah.
So.
I got the Teferi.
And then they couldn't interact.
And they couldn't interact. I was willing to keep my end of the bargain, and balance the roaming throne to the Yuriko player's hand, and then use Tyvar's ability to untap Fabor Elder to then go get the One Ring. And the reason for that is because me and the Kafka player agreed that he would use a tutor if he had in hand to go get Bowmasters. The Masters enter, and he would ping the Yuriko, and I would draw with the One Ring, right? And then we try to find some damage elsewhere to kill it, right? Because we needed the roaming throne off the board, period. You needed to go, right? One, if he has to recast it, he has to spend 4 mana to do it, and that's a good portion of his mana, leaves him 2 mana left. But at that point, the Kafka player refuses to show me their hand, which cues me in that there's a reason why they want the Teferi out and don't want to show me their hand. He ends up showing me his hand. He has Gifts Ungiven, Underworld Breach, and like 2 other pieces. So he's on 3 lands. So he lied himself that he wasn't going to be able to tutor and get the Bowmasters. So why are you agreeing to that? So I had to renege on my deal of not going for win, and I proceed to untap with Tyvar and then do Sisay things
Bounce
to
the
go
Graph
with
Digger.
Bounce the Graph Digger's Cage with Teferi. Biggest point here is like
Biggest point here is they were all really upset.
The Yuriko player wasn't, because he knew. He got it. The Kafka player and the Yoshi Thrash player were upset, understandably. But if you're refusing to show me your hand, and then you show, like, you're like, here, after the game's over, and you're like, here's this. You couldn't even get the Bowmasters and play it. So what was he gonna do? So it's like, oh, you're just gonna play that Underworld Breach, 100%. That's what you're going to do. You know. I think one of the cards in his hand was the LED. He just didn't have the Breach. Pretty sure.
I don't think he had enough mana to Gifts Ungiven and Breach.
He didn't have enough mana to give Ungiven and get Bowmasters. If he could do that.
So he didn't have enough mana to do either. Unless he drew mana.
Yeah, unless he was relying on top decking a mana. If he drew a mana, then he had enough for Breach. You know, so that was the biggest thing. So that was my game 1. I won that one. Moving into round 2, I won this one as well. This one was probably my best game of the day.
Who were you playing against?
I was playing against. So there was me in seat
2?
3.
Okay.
Seat 3. It was Blues Clues in seat 1. Vivi in seat 2. Me in seat 3, and another Sisay deck in seat 4. That game was very much a game of patience. I was on a
I think you said 4.
A multi 4, and I really didn't have anything. I think I started the game with Carpet Flowers, and that turned into Bloom Tender, which kind of spiraled into some other things. Bowmasters. I had the Bowmasters first, then I played the Bloom Tender. I don't know if that's like the right play pattern, but I always like to play Bowmasters first, and then play the Bloom Tender. I guess I'm just afraid of deflecting swap. I'd rather just kill the Bowmasters, I guess. But so the Bowmasters was really strong that game. It got very big. I think it got to 14-14. Yeah, no, for the most part, I just had to wait, and I had to I had to wait to the right time to remove an op agent, and for some silly reason that I don't know why, they basically targeted the VV out of the game, which, shout out to that player, he was a very good player. He handled the being targeted very well.
Pretty sure it's the same VV player I was playing.
Hat, cap.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Yeah, he handled that very well in our game. I ended up casting a Fire Covenant, killing both the Faber Elder and the Op Agent on the Blues. Faber on the Systems board, Op Agent on the Blues Clues board. After a bunch of interaction was played, like a Silence, a Mindbreak Trap, and a Mindbreak Trap. I was also sitting on Mindbreak Trap and Mental Misstep, and that. But I Fire Covenant cast Worldly Tutor for Kennen, and then proceeded to just combo off from there. But yeah, it was just a game of patience. I just had to wait, sit, and then let the board kind of progress and do its own thing. But other than that, it was a very good game. I don't think there was too much to report on that other than that. Nothing like...
Game 3 you lost?
Game 3 was a draw. Game 3 was a draw. That was the funniest thing. I was on a Mole 2-4 again. Again, opening with a Carpet of Flowers into... Atara. Which, super strong. I went for Thoracle combo that game. I was very close. I was this close. You can't see it, but it's like an inch. Got Swan Song by a Sisei player. Last card in the Sisei player's hand was a Swan Song. I was like, if I had a mental misstep here, I just win. Because they had pressured the Sisei player to using it. If it resolved it, I just won the game. But, that ended a draw because the Sisei player made a mistake and got the wrong combo pieces.
Oh, he was sweating so hard.
Oh, yeah, we had him sweating. That game went to time and round, and then literally went to the 20-minute mark and the 2-minute extension.
4-minute extension.
4-minute extension that we got. So that game was a game.
Oh my god, everybody was sitting around there just like, Judge, it's been 20 minutes. He had to repeatedly say, they got a 4-minute extension. They got a 4-minute extension.
People were very stressed in that game.
When I say this guy was sweating, this guy was dripping sweat from his forehead.
I did not tell what decks were at the table. I was in seat 2, and seat 1 was Blue Farm, seat 3 was Thrasios Vial Smasher, and seat 4 was the other Sisei. That Sisei started strong. That strong. Very strong. I thought they were going to win the game a lot sooner. I think they made a bunch of mistakes that cost them the game. And worrying about so much removal in the Sisei, I understand, but he had a ton of mana. And all he really needed to do was activate Sisei once, let it eat 2 pieces of interaction, and then get, be like, is that good? And then get Quetzal, and just went on his turn. He also could have went for an Emil line and was trying to go for Marvin Irith with Tyvar, which I understand, but you just have Emil. You went and got Savala, and you have Tyvar. Just get Emil. You have enough mana to continue the loop. Just do it. Because I think at that point he also...
I feel like you mentioned the card, and then he went and got that card, and...
Oh yeah, I did trigger him. I triggered him. I am mentioning Savala, and then it threw him off for some reason, and he went and got something else. I don't understand. But yeah, no, that ended a draw because he couldn't put it together. Shout out to that Sisei player though. He was sweating. He was sweating pretty hard.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure his playmat was fucking drenched.
I mean, there was a lot of politicking because the Blue Farm player really could not make up their mind on if they, how they wanted that game to go. And the Vial Smasher Thrasios, good on him, was very dedicated to not politicking that hard and not playing for a draw. There was at a point in time where I was like, that I would like to offer the draw because he's going for a breach line, and I have a reasonable way to stop him. He can't stop me from stopping him.
It's crazy because a couple months ago, like, all I seen was, like, Blue Farm deck list.
Yeah.
And now it's like I'm barely seeing them, and I'm seeing Rogdrass. Rogdrass is the new hot stuff.
I think it's the new hot stuff, but Blue Farm is still performing as though it is the top deck. Like it is the top deck. It has the most entries. It has the most tops. Like
that's because they haven't played against me.
But no, don't even that. I have not played against a lot of Blue Farm. I think I only played against one official Blue Farm deck.
That's all I played against was one.
There was a Blues Clues deck which is similar to Blue Farm, but it's two different commanders. But yeah. So my fourth game, I didn't get a picture.
No, the fourth game was us.
Oh yeah, and that got switched.
It got switched.
That got switched. What was one? I might have got my games mixed around. I got my games mixed around. The Thrasios. Did I? Get here. One. And that had to be two. Blue Farm?
No,
two,
my
three.
second match was with you. So,
so my second match was the game I won with against the VV and the Blues Clues. My third match
was the
Blue Farm, and then my fourth match, which was against another VV deck.
Scoop?
No. Some I don't know their name. But it was Kenan Sisse, Dion Sisse, and then a VV player and me. I was in first. Kenan was second.
No,
Dio
that was the finals.
No, I played Dio twice.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, I played Dio twice. Dion Sisse in third, and then the VV player in fourth. I powered out pretty well, and the Kenan player also got a lot of resources out very quickly. Kenan turned one favorite, Finn Hornell, stuff like that, and then the Dio had powered out I think a Noble Hierarch and the Torvalar the dog, and the VV player played a land. I Fire Covenant on turn 2, just wiped Kenan player's board, and I left Dio with an Ignoble Hierarch because I didn't want to remove him from the game because I didn't have very much answers. And realistically, all he had to do was play a land and then play Sisse. I think I should have killed it, the Ignoble Hierarch. Maybe.
Dio won that?
No. VV player did. But I did go for a win attempt, and Dio played into the Floodmaw. I played Tainted Pact, got Flusterstorm, and then cast Flusterstorm. And then RKO out of nowhere by the Kenan player who finally played the counterspell, Song. I don't think he songs the Tainted Pact either. Definitely songs the counterspell. Gets the counterspell out of my deck. Also kind of removes some other cards, depending on how far I have to dig. Draina and Laval ends up getting played that game, which kind of shuts me out for the rest of the game. Kenan ends up Gildy Draking the VV away, and then eventually plays Clever Impersonator. Sequences improperly a little bit. He could have played Kenan first and then played Clever Impersonator. Clever Impersonator copying the Draina and Laval, so there's two. But he didn't do that, so what ended up happening is cast Clever Impersonator, copied the Gilded Drake away the Draina and Laval, and then eventually the VV player bounced it, and then just kind of played a breach line, and from there just won. They didn't have Brain Freeze right away. They didn't have Brain Freeze. They had LED and some other things, but they didn't have an actual way to technically combo away from there and also remove two Drainas. Yeah. But that's what's happened in Game 4. I made it to top 10.
So at this point, I'm on like an hour and a half of sleep, and I make a really. We'll sum this game up to it was 2 rock grasses, 2 Sisseys, and the 1 Sissay player, me, made a very, 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 very bad game decision. I besaged a Smothering Tithe on the Sissay's board instead of a Gaia's Cradle. Known information, he had Finality of Devastation hand, couldn't cast it because of Lavinia. I was tired and my brain just kind of went to the default mode. Because on paper, when you say they have a Smothering Tithe on board, your brain is like, oh, I can't let a Sissay have Smothering Tithe. So it was really bad decision. My apologies to the other Sissay player in that game.
Dio.
That very much cost us the game. I was not happy with myself, but I think I was too tired to just like totally beat myself up about it. But yeah, that was the finals. I made like $150, bought some cards and some stuff like that. Yeah, I mean that if I were to rate that tournament, I would say 8 out of 10. Again, going back to the 4 rounds, I wasn't too upset about the 4 rounds itself. I understand that they didn't want to do 5 rounds if they didn't have 60 people. But I think that you should have a disclaimer on your top deck thing that says that if we don't reach this cap, this is the rounds. And it switched the whole tournament structure when we got there. It was supposed to be 5 rounds, cut to top 16, right? Instead, we got 4 rounds, cut to top 10. Which I understand that if you want to run your games that way, I totally understand. We're not kind of used to that because we go out to PA a lot. And
yeah, I mean, we travel
a lot of places just do the 5 rounds. But if you're going to switch rounds like that, I think you just need to have it advertised, especially with people that are coming out. If that cap hadn't been made, I don't know if we would have went out.
Yeah, I mean, I would have just not. I would have like found some work to do or something.
No, I would have went to sleep.
Go ride some BMX or something.
Yeah.
But we got Capital District coming up this Sunday.
Yep.
I was thinking about playing Hackball. To be honest, like it's a fun deck. But I think I just gotta kind of stick with Kinnan right now. I think that's where I'm at until I get Rock Thrust finished.
You need some dubs, and we have Pittsburgh coming out.
Yeah. So I want to be able to get as much practice in. Also, we are gonna have a streaming thing going on. We're gonna start streaming games on Spell Table. So if you're ever interested, just hit us up, and we can try to make it work so we can all play against each other. It's funny. Because we went to good games Sunday also after, and I almost lost to Thassa's Oracle combo.
Oh really?
Yeah, Shifting Woodlands is Voice of Victory.
Oh yeah.
Were you in that match?
I was in that match. He very much thought he had that game.
Yeah, Dave the Hobbyist. He's like, I'm gonna make my Shifting Woodlands a Voice of Victory. I was like, oh, so it's a creature now. And everybody's like, yeah. I was like, okay, I'm gonna auto war that.
I think you played the counter spell that also
my hand was all interaction. Yeah. I was like, I'm gonna counter that. But also,
that's the game you got me with the. Oh no, that's the game where I got really targeted.
But my thing was like, I had so much advantage on the board and in my hand. Like I'm just like, there's no way I'm losing this game. Like, and I almost discarded that Artawara before I passed turn, but I was like, I'm just gonna keep it just in case.
That's a good decision. Otherwise, you would have lost that game.
Also, we have playmats coming soon. Twisted MTG, Upstate New York CDH playmats. Possibly some tokens in the work. We're working on trying to get things going. Being able to go to tournaments, grind. Provide some, cool merch for people.
Probably really use some more podcasts.
Yeah, we're gonna try to get at least 1-2 a week. Works for us, and we're gonna try to make it so eventually, like, it's not just an image of our logo.
You will eventually see our face in like a special episode.
Yeah, probably once we start getting the whole Streamlab thing going on. We're just starting to get things started up. We got the cameras, we get the laptop. We're just setting up the Streamlab so we can get that going.
Yeah.
Which will probably make things a lot more interesting and less boring. But
Yeah. Eventually set up a Patreon account.
yeah, Patreon. We got a Twitch, TikTok, YouTube.
Which we can drop in the link in the description.
Yeah, we can drop in a link in the description. I'm pretty sure we can drop multiple. So, just keep a lookout for us. If you see us at events or feel like wanting to play us, just hit us up and send us a message, and we'll set something up to play on a spell table, or maybe in person, depending on how far away you are.
Thanks for being with us for this podcast, and hope to see you again.
All right, bye.